When Sir William Stanier died in 1944, Charles Fairbairn took over as the Chief Mechanical Engineer at the London, Midland and Scottish Railway. But unfortunately he was already pretty old, and he died in 1945, aged 75 I think. So the next guy was H.G. Ivatt, Henry George Ivatt. Now his dad's name was Henry, H.A. Ivatt, Henry Alfred Ivatt. So his dad is known as Henry Ivatt, and the son is known as George Ivatt. And the locomotive we're looking at here was designed by George Ivatt. It is a 2MT. The Ivatt family was a very railway orientated family, because obviously we've got George Ivatt designing the LMS, his dad Henry Ivatt was Chief Mechanical Engineer at the Great Northern Railway prior to the very famous Sir Nigel Gresley. And George's sister, whose name I can't remember right now, was married to Oliver Bulleid of Southern Railway fame. So I bet they talked about trains a lot round the dinner table. Stanier had been really brought into the LMS to provide lots of big, powerful locomotives, both for passenger and freight, which he did very successfully. But the small locomotives of the LMS kind of got neglected. So when George Ivatt came along, there was a need for a few more small locomotives. So he designed this one. There were 128 of these small moguls built between 1946 and 1953. The one we're looking at here, 46446, was built at Crewe in 1950, when of course British Railways had been in full swing for 2 years. It was withdrawn in 1966. Well, this 2MT mogul was carried on by Ivatt and Riddles, and British Railways modified the design. It became one of the standard 2MTs of British Railways. Both the British Railways version and this version were known as a Mickey Mouse. And they're basically the same. The cab is different on I think the cab is smaller on the British Railways one. At the same time that George Ivatt was designing the locomotive we've just been looking at, he was also designing a tank engine version of the same locomotive, which had a 262 wheel arrangement. Well, I don't have a model of the Ivatt 2MT Prairie, so I've substituted this Great Western Small Prairie for it. Now I know what you're going to say. It's got the same wheel arrangements, but otherwise, what's the similarity? Well, there you go. I'm just going to make this substitution and we'll see what bad things happen in the course of time. Hopefully nothing. Another of George Ivatt's designs was the famous LMS Cocoa Diesel pair, number 10,000 and 10,001. That's another claim to fame for George. Well done, George. From 1945 to 1948, while George Ivatt was Chief Mechanical Engineer at the LMS, his second in command was Robert Riddles. Well, in 1948, when British Railways formed, Robert Riddles was taken to be in charge of the whole of British Railways and the development of their standard locomotives plan. But George Ivatt stayed at the LMS. He was called Chief Mechanical Engineer, British Railways, brackets, London Midland Region, which was a post he held till 1951. So, meantime, Riddles was designing locomotives like this for his standard British Railways locomotives plan. Although the one we're looking at, Duke of Gloucester, was kind of an afterthought. It was a prototype built in 1954 for some more powerful Pacifics of its type, but that never came to be because it was pretty much the end of steam by that time. Nevertheless, what a beautiful locomotive we're looking at here. So we're going to be seeing Duke of Gloucester running today. Some would say Riddle's best design, the 210, the British Railways standard Class 9F. Well, F stands for freight, but they were very successfully used for passenger trains as well. So why don't we do that today? Why not indeed? Let's do it.